Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK Journey video. In this video we're going to talk about Zorya and should you be pulling her or not on her rate up recruitment banner. So Zorya was tested to an extent on the Pioneer server. We have a decent idea of how she can perform, and for the major game modes, which are Dream Realm and AFK Stages, she is not at all good. For Dream Realm, she doesn't have good single target damage, and number two, she is dormant for probably half of the battle, and like you don't want that in Dream Realm, basically forcing your team to fight a 4v5. The same kind of issue actually carries over to AFK Stages. She just doesn't provide enough value to the team. She has a debuff, a haste debuff and movement speed debuff onto enemies of pretty high magnitude. However, that's not exactly what you want in AFK Stages. You would much rather prefer hard crowd control, and she does have a short stun when she actually enters the battle. However, that is not enough, right? You want like repetitive, low cooldown crowd control, which Zorya doesn't offer, and that means that Zorya is not going to be good or provide much to your team in AFK Stages. And then the other problem is she's going to be dormant for a big portion of the battle and just making you fight the 4v5, which is really hurts the team to see that, and that is really what is holding her back, honestly. But even if she wasn't dormant, she still isn't really bringing enough to the table when it comes to AFK Stages. Now, what is the only potential role for Zorya? It is a staller in PvP. She goes dormant. Obviously, she's not targetable for that whole duration. And if you have any other ally on the field, whether it be a Tilaya, whether it be, you know, a hero which can continue to get long-term value in a fight as long as you have a surviving ally, then Zorya is going to synergize well with them. So, like, there were team comps with Shadewing, Bonnie, Dot-type comps, and Zorya, and then Zorya just stalling out the enemies. There are team comps with Zorya and Tilaya, and again, just Zorya stalling out and Tilaya nuking and killing off enemies. And those are kind of the strategies you need to think about in using her. She, in a way, is somewhat comparable to a hero like Igor. Igor is also a Graveborn hero, a staller for PvP, because he jumps around, sets up the tombstones, is not easy to defeat. But the difference actually between them is Igor also is consistently on the battle, doing some damage, providing HP recovery block onto enemies, and you know, and with his ultimate, his damage is not even that bad. So like, the problem is Zorya, for the first 12 seconds of the battle, she's not at all contributing, and your team is forced to fight a 4v5 and without any buffing from Zorya's side. Then Zorya's going to enter the battlefield, do a stun, have that movement speed and haste debuff, which is okay, and then she can deal a little bit of damage, but her own damage as well is not that great. She has damage reduction, but like the damage reduction rapidly decays on her, and so it isn't actually enough to take damage from the enemies. She ends up dying usually 4 to 5 seconds after she enters her active state, and then she's gonna go dormant again, because with her Supreme Plus, she does get another free dormant proc. She doesn't die on the first one. If she didn't have her Supreme Plus, Zorya would be so almost impossible to use, because the problem is Zorya just doesn't take damage very well. You can see it here that there is this damage reduction by 70%, and it gradually fades over 10 seconds. And like, even though it says gradually fades, the damage reduction fades pretty rapidly, and like I'm saying, because Zorya jumps right into the middle of the enemy team and stuns them, then they're gonna refocus their aggro onto her, and with the damage reduction like decaying, they're just gonna kill Zorya, and she always procs her fatal blow and her next dormant state like just within seconds. And so like, she doesn't really even bring enough to the table. The only way that you somehow win in PvP is if after those 2 dormant states, the rest of your team has done enough, whether it be dot damage from a dot comp, whether it be a Tilaya damage, and then if they have done enough that the enemy has basically no one left standing, then Zorya can clean up. But Zorya cannot like duel 1v3, 1v4. She's just gonna take another insta-kill basically, and she's gonna go back into dormant. So that's the thing. She's a very niche hero for PvP uses, and like when you talk about even the top heroes for PvP, they're kind of better than Zorya. Like for example, as a whale, as a player who has most of the meta PvP heroes built and Paragon upgraded, even if I had a Paragon 4 maxed out Zorya, I probably would not be using her in any of my teams, because you can build more effective teams without her than with her. So in even that regard, she's just not a good investment, even as a purely PvP hero. And like we mentioned about the other game modes, it's almost impossible she's going to see any use for boss content. The only thing which you may think is that she can stack her attack buff permanently up to 100, bonus 100% attack. Which that gets a little bit interesting, right? But the thing is, even at 100% bonus attack, well, first of all, you need to provide her energy from some outside sources, which either an artifact that can provide, but other than an artifact, it's difficult to have a hero which is actually providing other allies energy. There are not actually that many heroes that do that. Twins are a great example, but like in Ravage Rum, you're not even gonna have twins in the Graveborn Ravage Rum, and I'm thinking about it for Ravage Rum. But even then, 100% attack buff is not enough because she's gonna be dormant for almost half the battle. So like, it kind of just counteracts itself, and then her damage is cleave based damage, not really great single target damage, no true damage or anything. So that is basically going to be the problem with Zorya. Overall, she's just like, it's very similar to Tilaya. If you guys remember Tilaya, she had, you know, some niche usage in PvP, but then she's hard countered by true damage or enemy Shimiras in PvP even, and for everything else, kind of useless. Zorya's kind of the same. However, Tilaya is a hero, and I believe Zorya will also be a hero for newcomers, newbies to AFK Journey. Probably a one copy, potentially wonder hero for AFK stages like Zorya, because at one copy, you know, she can go dormant, she can power up, and then she can actually duel enemies in AFK stages early. Tilaya kind of did the same thing. Even at one copy, she was used in AFK stage formations when I started like the new account that I made a video on. So yeah, Zorya, Tilaya, new player, one copy AFK stage hero, but basically call it at that. No one else should be really building her or building her beyond that, because she's just not going to be meta for you in the other game modes. So the overall, it's a good news. Like, you might be thinking, well, what is the point of releasing a hero which is just not relevant in the meta? The point of that is it allows you to save up for the next meta relevant hero, which is always valuable. Like, we've just had Celise, which is definitely must pull. Then this we had Sylvan, which is on the borderline of pull and must pull, and then we have Zorya, who's an easy skip, and now we're gonna have Pippa, who we're gonna have to see, because in AFK Arena she was meta. We're gonna have to see, will she be meta AFK Journey, or will it be another skip and save our resources because we have the collab banner coming. We're gonna have, I'm sure, more raid up recruitment heroes, which may even be better. So yeah, that's basically it for this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts about Zorya in the comment section down below. If you have if you found a way to make her work in a game mode, let us know and share your strategy with us, because I'm sure all heroes are usable to an extent. However, it's just like, we're talking about the majority opinion, and for a majority of players, it's just easy skip Zorya. She just doesn't bring enough to the table, and it's just too niche. So thanks for watching, guys. That's gonna be it for this video. And if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video and a pinned comment. And you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.